could live off of steak. Today, we're gonna make a beautiful Wagyu Coulotte from Snake River Farms. All their cattle grazes in the Pacific Northwest. Some of the best tasting meat I've ever had from my favorite store in LA, Italy. Traditional Wagyu comes from Japan. The Wagyu at Snake River Farms is actually a hybrid between Japanese Wagyu and traditional beef breeds. And what you're looking for in a nice piece of meat, some really great marbling. That is gorgeous. Wow. Gorgeous marbling throughout the meat. Though there's a really nice fat cap here, you don't see any huge fat chunks throughout the meat, but it is just perfectly marbled. You want to handle this meat with care. As soon as you get this home, you want to get it salted. So we're going to take our steak and pat it dry. Any moisture on the outside of that steak is going to keep it from getting really nice caramelization. So we want to do our best to pat this thing dry. Now with our kosher salt, we're going to season this steak thoroughly. You want to add about 30% more salt than you think you should. Because what you have to remember is we only get to season the outside of this meat, and that salt needs to be able to penetrate to give even coverage for every bite you take. So while it might look like a lot of salt, I promise you, it will come out great. The other thing to notice is that I'm seasoning from very high up. When you season like this, it's gonna give you much more even coverage on your meat, fish, or vegetables. I'm gonna throw this thing on the grill, let it cook low and slow for a little while to render all that fat, and then hit it hard, get a nice, beautiful sear. And pop it onto our beautiful Napoleon grill here. Fat side down. We're gonna let that render. The fat there is gonna protect the meat while letting it cook evenly. We're gonna check on it in a couple minutes and see how it's doing. Let's take a peek. Gorgeous. That fat is just starting to render. And let it roll for a little bit longer. What I love so much about this grill are these beautiful LED knobs. They're incredibly precise, and it makes it so easy to get the perfect temperature in that grill. You can monitor it all right here with your temperature gauge. Make sure everything right now is within that smoking range because we're cooking it low and slow. But my favorite part of this grill is this infrared side burner. And after that fat has been nicely rendered off the steak, we're gonna use this soon to get a beautiful crust on that piece of meat. I think it's time to pull this thing off. So now that this steak is out, I'm gonna let it rest for a few minutes to allow that temperature from the inside to really carry over and those juices to redistribute. So now that the steak has been resting, I'm gonna drop this right on here and you can just hear that sizzle. And remember, the meat is cooked here. We're just trying to get that beautiful browning and caramelization around the outside of it. And we're trying to do it really fast, maybe about a minute and a half total. Beautiful. Hit the side quickly. All right, let's get this back to the kitchen. Now that this has come up to temp, we're ready to slice and plate. So you want to look for here is the way that the grain is moving on the steak. So as you can see, the grain is coming this way. And we're going to slice perpendicular to that. And it's really going to help the texture. Temp looks absolutely perfect here in the center of that steak. You can see it's perfect end-to-end, medium rare, no gray ring. It came out great. Now that it's plated, we're gonna finish it with a little bit of Maldon salt, making sure to get it in between the pieces as well. That is juicy, incredibly well seasoned. Wagyu steak grilled outside with a salsa verde. What could be better? Hope you give this a try.